Hello everyone. Welcome to our course, Computer Science. This is an introductory course and we'll be using the programming language of Python. We're going to study how to control the flow of programs and how to make exciting, really neat games and programs that are interactive as we learn all the basics of programming. In this lesson, I'd like to introduce you to my webpage, as well as get started with some software. You can find my webpage by just entering my name into a search engine, and it's usually the first one to come up. And you'll see that I have a lot of things on this page here, but what we want is the computer science link. Then we're going to select Computer Science 1. And from here you can see that we have lots of different lessons and labs and things like that. And we'll be working in Introduction to Computer Science with Turtle. So you can download a copy of that and find other videos and different helpful things. The next thing we need is something to code with. There are countless number of software packages available that would allow you to code Python. Usually you have to download the Python software and then download the software to edit and make programs separately. We're going to get a built-in tool. So we're going to be using Thonny. That's Thonny. It has everything we need right in it, and it's super easy to use. So click right here. It says Thonny, Python IDE for beginners. But don't let that fool you. It's extremely powerful, and there's plenty of experts that use it. All right, here we can choose to download it for whatever version you want. I'll be downloading the one for Windows. Simply save the file to my downloads. And now that it's downloaded, I'll simply navigate to my downloads and find it. Well, let me make sure it's completed. Yep, looks like it's all done now. And I'll run the Thonny installer. Now this could take several minutes depending on your computer. Now, while this is installing, I want to talk about what to do if you don't have a computer that's ready to have its own software installed on it. Say you have something like a Chromebook or some other kind of tablet. There are lots of different options for online editors. They work, they just don't work as easily. One that I'm going to suggest, and you might find others that you like more, is Repel-It. It's REPL.IT. And that's it. You'll need to make an account, but they've got lots of stuff available for free with just some basic advertising. Once you've made an account, you're able to press this button to choose a language and start coding. It can be a little clunky when you start to run the programs in Repel-It because it's online, but it's certainly a better option than nothing. So here you can see the Repel-It kind of interface. It has this simulated computer over here where you have your code on this side. Whether you choose to use Repel-It or not, you should at least be making an account there and checking out some of the tutorials and some of the examples, because it's pretty neat stuff. All right, looks like we're almost done installing here. So I'll pause the video and we'll get back at it as soon as this is done. Okay, Thonny is fully installed. I'm going to go to my search bar and just type in Thonny, and there's where my app is. You'll be using it a lot, so you may want to pin it to the taskbar and just say, let's go. Okay, the first time you load up Thonny, it might take just a little while. It's going to set up some libraries and things on your computer. So just be patient. Now that I've got this loaded in, I'm finally ready to go. Okay, so we have two different portions. We have our code editor here, which is for, at the top, which is for writing code that we want to make a program that will be able to be run over and over again. Down here at the bottom, we have what's called the shell. So the shell allows us to use code to do things one time right now. So the advantage is that it's quick and we can adapt to certain situations. But we can't, if we want to do something again, we got to retype it. And if we close out Thonny, we've lost everything we've done. So we'll use the shell from time to time, but then when we're ready to make something permanent, we'll put it in a permanent file. I also like using the shell when I'm learning new techniques in Python because it's a nice way to try things out, see what I like, see what works, see what doesn't. So we're going to start with a shell today. You can tell that it's a shell when there's these three arrows. What I want you to type is from turtle import star. Okay, so we can actually increase the size of our shell if you need more room to see. And if the font needs to be changed, you can do that at options, and you can see the editor font right here. I just enlarged mine to 16, make it a little bit easier to see on this video. All right, so what we've done, you probably don't know what that means, from turtle import star. And you know what? You don't really need to know what it means right now. But essentially, we've opened up what's called a turtle module, and we're gonna get a lot of tools out. So basically, we just wheeled in a big giant tool chest, and now we're gonna take out some of those tools and play with them. The first thing I want us to do is to type in show turtle. Notice it's all one word. Oftentimes we use just one word even if we have a two-word command. Also notice that we have these open and close parentheses after the word show turtle. And then hit enter. You may not see anything unless you look really carefully at the bottom on your taskbar, or if you have your editor not fully showing the entire window, you'll notice that something popped up. And that's exactly what popped up, is the Python turtle graphics, because I told it to show turtle. See that little black arrow there? That's a turtle. I'm going to make it to where I can see both at the same time. Or at least I'm going to try my hardest. Might be a little bit of overlap. All right. So because we're doing the real-time coding, we have control over that turtle right now. Okay, so let's make our turtle go forward. So we type in the word forward. Now, these are called functions. You may have also heard the term methods. But these functions require that you have parentheses after their name. And that's really important. Every time you call a function, you have to put parentheses after it. Some functions require that we type something inside those parentheses. So I'm going to type in 100. The 100 is called an argument here. When you're writing your own function, it's called a parameter. So we called the forward with 100, and we moved our turtle forward 100 pixels. And you'll see that it drew a line behind me. All right, so now what I'd like to do is I'd like us to just take a look together in the workbook at some of the functions we can use. These are not all of the functions that are available to us, but this is a good number of them, and it'll get you started doing whatever you want to do. So we can show the turtle, we can hide the turtle, we can move the turtle forward, we can turn right or left a certain degrees. We can tell our turtle to go to a specific point, x, y. We can also set our turtle's x coordinate or set its y coordinate, keeping the other coordinate the same. Our turtle has pre-built in ability to make a circle, or a dot, or a stamp. We can also change the turtle's speed, where 1 is the slowest and 10 is the fastest, but there's also 0, which is reserved for even faster than 10, so little delay. Okay, we can put the pin down. You notice it drew a line, or we can pick the pin up. We can change the color of the turtle, and the acceptable colors can be found at this web page here. We can get into a fill mode that allows us to draw and then color in the inside, as long as we call infill when we're done. We can also change the shape of our turtle. There are several built-in options that include arrow, that we've already seen, turtle, circle, square, triangle, or the classic shape. We can clear our drawings. We can change the size of our turtle. We can set the heading, which is kind of like turning left or right, but instead you tell it exactly which direction you want to go, where 0 is pointed to the right, 90 straight up, 180 to the left, 270 straight down. Finally, we can have our turtle write some text to the screen. I do want to point out that some of these functions have parameters that they require. When we call them, what we put in there is called an argument. So when you call forward, right, and left, you have to supply an argument. All of these functions are listed in our packet, our workbook called Introduction to Computer Science Using Turtle. Remember that you can get a copy of this book by going to the web page that I showed earlier in the video, and I'll include a link in the description. It's called Introduction with Computer Science. It's this first one on the left. Introduction to Computer Science with Turtle. Now, I could sit here and show you all sorts of things Turtle could do, but instead I want to jump right to these exercises. I want you to use the interactive shell and your Turtle graphics window to do these things. I want you to make a rectangle of side lengths 150, make an equilateral triangle of sides 200, and try and fill it with some color of your choice. Try and make a regular hexagon. Or maybe create the following image. This is using the turtle shape. And finally, create your own work of art, but sign your name using the turtle's write function. Remember, because we're using the interactive shell, you're not going to be saving your program. So if you know how to, try taking a screenshot of your cool works of art so that you can save them and remember what you did on this first lesson in Python. If you haven't already, pause the video and write the code. Then, when you're ready, unpause the video and we'll go over some answers. Not all of them, but we'll go over some. Okay, go ahead and pause it and try. All right. Hopefully, at this point, you've completed some of these things. I'm going to go ahead and call clear to clear out everything. And I'm going to attempt to make something similar to this. So the first thing I need to do is change the shape of my turtle. So I'll do that by saying shape turtle. Notice that the shape word has to be in quotes. And that's because if you say shape turtle, it's going to be confused and not know what you mean by that. Because the turtle is not defined as a variable name. Instead, you have to use quotes to make it the word turtle, not the variable turtle. So now that I've changed the shape, I'm going to stamp. So I made a stamp. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn my turtle left about 60 degrees. And I'm going to pick up my turtle's pin. I'm going to move my turtle forward about 50 units. And I'm going to increase the size of my turtle. Do you remember what that one was? If you don't, that's okay. You don't have to have all of them memorized. We can use, where is it? Turtle size. There it is. And notice the size is an integer value. So we can just change our turtle size. Maybe try 5. See what ends up. Oh, I typed size. I meant turtle size. Oh, that makes it quite a bit bigger, doesn't it? That's a little too big, huh? Maybe we try turtle size 3. That's good. I'm also going to change the color. I'm not trying to match the one in the book perfectly. So how do we change the color? Is it just color? Do you remember? Yeah, it's color. Color. Once again, though, we need to be using words that are quotes in green. So I'll say and now I'm going to stamp. Now I'm going to turn my turtle left, I think another 60 degrees. Then I'm going to move my turtle forward. I'll try 50 again. See if I like it there. No, I think I'm going to go for it forward a little bit more. I press the up arrow and it brings up what I just typed in. And I think I also might be turned just a little bit too far to the right. Or to the left. So I'm going to go back right, about 15 degrees. See if I like that. Maybe a little bit more. And then I'm going to increase my size. So I'll say turtle size, and I'll make him this time 5, and I'll stamp. Oh no, I don't want to do red again. Let's and then I'm going to turn left another 50, forward 120. I'm going to change my size, maybe 7. I think I'll go forward just a little bit more. And what do y'all think about a color of purple? And I'll stamp. So something just like that would be a nice way to do that. Now if you want to remember this, I like this snipping tool. You can find it by just searching snipping tool, and then you can go right here and just box in and then save it as a PNG file. File, save as. You'll notice that I get the title of whatever I want. Maybe make a folder somewhere for it, and you can title it Turtle Art. There we go. So hopefully those tips help you finish any of the other assignments that maybe you didn't quite figure out. Remember, you can always look up other places. All right, the last thing I want you to do is I want you to answer questions 6 and 7 from the book, where I want you to read the code and try and describe what would be happening. Try and draw the picture based on the information. So pretend you're the turtle following these commands. Give it your best shot.